Well, hello everyone. You're probably noticing the new format of a video. I didn't really have anything set up or planned for this, but I did want to cover a video in a certain type of way. And I feel like now we can move beyond a little bit. And if you're like, Necro, this is kind of like a weird situation type deal. It sounds more like a podcast, then you'd be correct. Because it kind of feels like that a little bit. But today we have a video from individual. Also, you guys are probably going to hear every single background noise. My apologies. But it is called. I hate recording when muffler guys out there. But it is called The Male Gaze is Ruining Anime. What is the female gaze? And I haven't watched this video yet, so this whole video may just be scrapped, or you'll probably see it if you are a member. And then if it's not for members, then it'll be for everyone who fucking knows what I'm gonna do. But I wanted to watch this video a little bit. And again, I haven't seen this before yet. So I want to see what is in this and see if this format actually works.
Women have boobs, men are jacked as shit. This is what anime is. Let's unpack that for a bit. The emphasis on jiggle physics, the physique of these women can only be assumed to be for the male gaze.
But what if you're a lesbian then? What if you are literally anybody that just likes looking at and admiring the female body? I mean, realistically, what if you're just anybody? Why does it have to be specifically for the male gaze? I mean, most creators that probably put time and emphasis into jizzle. Boy, I promise you, Chad, I have not been drinking. But what if they just want to put time into jiggle physics because why not? What if the women are actually just like us, the men?
This is for the bros, nay, the men of culture.
I mean, I hope this next part is exactly what I think it is.
And of course, let's not forget the women in the room, the female gaze.
But okay, but the female gaze can be for literally anyone. It doesn't have to be boys exclusively. Shout out to all my lesbians out there.
Wait, no, that's not. Stop! You think that this is what the girls want.
What do they want?
This is the female gaze to you? No way. Hi there, my name is Ina.
Wait, so we just roll right past that? I guess that's what this whole video's for. And don't worry, the first segment is what is a gaze? Now, I don't know how much I can really talk about this because I'm just going to be pulling or grasping at straws, if you will. But I feel like even if you were to consider something like the male gaze and the female gaze, your experience will vary, and I feel like this video doesn't do a good job. And you'll see what I mean with the likes and dislikes being as the way that they are. You know what? 999 and 629 dislikes. There you go, pimp. Now you got a whole 1K. We're being a positive individual today.
NECRO, and I got a comment on my Shonen Girls Are Trash video.
And was it pretty much what you expected? If you don't know the deep lore, because I don't know the deep lore either, not that much. She made a video about shonen females are trash. Let's talk about it. And well, I guess it was more of like a question. I didn't say it like a question, but she had a question about the thing, and all it can really be like really dumbed down to, if you really want to get to the TLDR, they're not main characters; they're just side characters. I mean, and if you really want to, grasp at more straws, then you'll know that shonen is usually targeted to young teenage boys. So they're probably not going to be looking at the females too hard, and they're not the center point of the story. But what do I know?
Actually, a lot of comments trying to point out that I can't complain about fan service in the way that women are portrayed when anime gives the women characters like shirtless Bakugo, not
You know what? Let's just get this segment.
Natsu or Ace. These guys walk around abs out and everything, but no, this is not for the girls. This is not the female gaze. This is a young boy's power fantasy.
Okay, so because this is such an impromptu thing, do you know what shonen is?
Now, I am not saying that fan service is bad. What
Hang on, we gotta go back.
trying to point out that I can't complain about fan service in the way that women are portrayed when anime gives the women characters like shirtless Bakugo.
Okay, so you're not saying that. And that is true. But it's what you implied before, is that you're complaining about fan service. Here comes Muffler Guy. You're complaining about fan service that is almost specifically for young boys, and that women will have fan service that they like, which is typically seeing these other characters shirtless with abs, six-pack abs. And yeah, kind of. But even if we were to take away all of that, just for your argument. Also, Muffler Guy's going down the street again. Man, I love him. But even if we were to take away all of that, right? And we were to take your point of a male power fantasy, did we forget that we're watching something that's fictional?
This is not for the girls. This is not the female gaze.
Right.
This is a young boy's power fantasy.
Wow. Imagine wanting to become strong to save your friends? I don't think that we're on the same page here, lady.
Now, I am not saying that fan service is bad.
No, you didn't say that. But you kind of implied it a little bit.
What anime characters wear and don't wear is not the issue.
Then why did we bring up the shirtless Bakugo and the abs out on characters from One Piece? Did we miss that part?
It's not. Like, let's take a look at my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann, and let's look at the anime trio. Sure.
This is going to be so bad faith. I can feel it in my bones. This might be a bad video already.
Shirtless, shirtless, shirtless.
Okay, let's stop right there. So, I know where this is going, because okay, you know what? You guys are gonna take away my anime card, if you will. I did not much care for Gurren Lagann. I just didn't. I mean, it's probably not a bad show. I just didn't care for it when I watched it. And then I got shit on by the people. They were like, how could you, Necro? You're supposed to love all anime. This one, it's by Trigger, and it's really fucking good. And I would say to you, fellow astute viewer, you are absolutely correct. It is good. It's just not for me. But, you see, again, this is one of those shows that is for the male demographic. So if everyone is showing some skin, and most of them are dudes, except for Yoko, who is essentially a tomboy at this point, are we really going to complain and try to compare this to something else?
Makes sense. What doesn't make sense, though, is the camera angles. Why does Yoko have to be framed like that? Frame her like Kamina, make the audience actually see her, that she's not just a body. Other than that, she's a fine character.
You know what? People say that, but what about the shows that are Yuri shows? Those are meant for the female gaze, right? I mean, if we're going to be consistent, Don't worry, any tubers always do this thing where they're inconsistent. But if we were to take a different type of show, you could say that this is moving the goalpost or whatever, but let's assume that it's a Yuri show, and then they have those same kinds of angles. Or characters in a show that is primarily female, and they have those same kinds of angles and poses. Is it still for the men then, or is it universal? Because as far as I was concerned, you could watch almost any part of Symphogear, and you would get all of those same angles, sometimes even more. Now, I would like to believe that more women watch that show than men. However, if you go on Twitter, which you shouldn't, and you should also follow me on Twitter, at necro_x and 3Ls, you know the joke, you'll find that a lot of people of various genders happen to like it. I'm not going to explain myself any further.
The framing, the way the animators, the manga writers frame and portray the character on screen is the male gaze.
But what if the writer is a female? Again, we always want to talk about the male gaze, but the male gaze is something that people such as yourself have brought up, which makes no sense. Because the females that write these stories usually are okay with it. In fact, they applaud it. I could point out another specific incident of women liking something a little bit more differently than men, right? You guys remember, what was it? Redo of Healer and how everyone lost their minds for some reason? Well, most of the people that were watching it were female. And I would be hard pressed to say that you will find females complaining about Redo of Healer almost anywhere. If you look, I mean, there probably is, you know, the outliers, whatever you want to call. But like people like Mother's Basement and these other people, the male anti-tubers, they were the ones that had a problem with it. They didn't want to see something edgy for edgy's sake. Be on screen, I'm pretty sure is how they phrased it. But again, women watched that show more than the men did. So is something like that made for the male gaze if females are enjoying it? I feel like this doesn't really add up when you're making this argument.
Now, I am going to stress this, that it's okay for anime characters to be sexy, it's okay for them to show skin, but more often than not, it's women who tend to not really like these scenes.
I can't call anyone on the fly either, so every time I glance over, I'm like, Discord? Can I get someone? That's kind of bullshit, though. If your only point of reference is females that you know and they agree with you, that's not a good case study. Now, the same could be said, well, Necro, you only look at Twitter through a lens and you only follow the people that you want to see. And that is true. But sometimes people do get fucking stupid when they're on Twitter. I'm one of those people. So when I see a wide variety of people that I don't follow, and they're saying opposite of what she's saying, I have to start wondering a little bit.
And these women should have a voice too.
They do have a voice. They made the show.
So what is their voice? The female gaze is much more than turning the tables though. Oh, this anime's demographic is for females now? This must mean that it's...
Actually, Free, I think, is kind of for men, though. It's a sports show.
the men's turn now to get objectified.
Well, no one... Okay. So, let me go back. So, that's not how this works. We don't say, oh, well, women were objectified in this show, so now it's the men's turn. And vice versa. Now, I would hate to sound like one of those people, but isn't that true equality if both sides are getting it? Because then again, maybe I'm just stupid, which is probably the case. But if there are people that are getting objectified, the poor heckin' anime characters and Muffler Guy are getting objectified across the board, regardless of gender, where's the issue then?
No, as I said, that is not the female gaze. That is using the male gaze on males.
Did I miss a segment?
This must mean that it's the men's turn now to get objectified. No, as I said, that is not the female gaze. That is using the male gaze on males.
Earlier you called it the male power fantasy. Why wouldn't a boy watching any of these shows want to be an athletic swimmer having fun with his bros? I didn't watch the show. I don't fucking know. But wouldn't someone want to be in a friend group like that?
I am not here to talk about the usefulness of Sakura. I'm not here to
Don't worry, there's plenty of videos on that. I'm not doing it again.
dissect how Nezuko could have been written better. This
Oh my lord, not this again. Are we still on this? Demon Slayer. The anime that is selling gangbusters. I don't watch it. I'm gonna be a hipster really quick. I don't watch it because I don't like a lot of mainstream shows. That being said, you should be watching Licorice Recoil. It's out this season. It's a great show. See, I'm being positive. And it's essentially like one of what my stories was gonna be. But don't worry, we can still make it. We're still making it, bros.
This topic of conversation used to be a big trend on TikTok.
Oh boy, TikTok, my favorite place. There is a TikTok that I have, and I was gonna do a YouTube short with it. I might still do it. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I will. I don't know. It's a little old now. But the TikTok essentially was about how when characters get blackwashed. One of them was Anya from Spy Family or Spy X Family. However you want to say it, no one cares. Okay, you're a weeb. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Don't attack me. But that happened, and they called the dark skinned characters, the black characters, night skinned. Now, I don't know about you, astute viewer, or this lady, but when you call some dark-skinned person, a black person, if you will, a night skin, that sounds a little bit more racist than if you just call them a black person. I'd rather you call me the hard R.
Actually, what the male and female gaze is, and I wanted to add to the conversation.
Unfortunately, we're adding to the conversation of stupidity. Again, why does this matter, though? I mean, you could say, well, Necro, why does this video matter, too? But why does any of this matter? I mean, I'm pretty sure if I dug into, the archives, I could find it. But you remember that the Chinese got really mad about Shang-Chi? It didn't do well in China because they had the Chinese guy that was, from what I can remember, I could be wrong, just don't quote me. But they were like, this dude looks like a pretty boy, and we can't have any of that. They didn't want him to look pretty. They just said, nope, that's not working here. Now, what if there were women that thought he was hot? Is that the female gaze yet? Or are we still trying to bend the terms here? We're still trying to search for that meaning in all of this, I'm sure.
By taking a look at it through the lens of anime and manga.
I'm pretty sure women wrote most of these shows. Also, big ups to this nice pause. But women make a lot of these shows where women get objectified, or even are made for the male gaze. I mean, you wouldn't want to spend all day looking at a what's that guy from Shigechi from JoJo? Yeah, no one wants to look at that dude. That's why he got blew up.
Does the female gaze actually exist in such a predominantly male-targeted medium?
I'm not gonna go through this. Go look it up. Sailor Moon is the biggest thing to introduce women into anime, and then those women then went to went to find more anime that was made for women, and then they got stuff that was made for everyone, and then they got into anime that way. I don't know. predominantly is being used pretty loosely here, and it makes no sense.
Does the anime industry have anything to do with this?
No. The anime industry doesn't fucking care. They're making whatever the creators worked for, and they're putting out their work. Damn, it's hard to believe that people could actually have fun making a story they want to make, getting it sent out to the masses to have someone like you say, man, the male gaze and the female gaze, I want that to the discussion. Bang up job.
To answer this question, I think that before we can try to understand the female gaze, it's probably best if we get a real understanding of the male gaze first.
Oh, jeez. You know, whenever I see a video like this from AnyTuber, insert here AnyTuber, it's really not even like supposed to be I want to show you my side of it. It's usually almost always combative. And what I mean is, this video is a follow-up to another video, except the other one was received a lot better than this one was. So why do you have to keep digging for oil and you already fucking got it? I feel like we're making a mountain out of a molehill. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So let's get into it. Also, this video is...
Oh, Lord. Sponsors. Skip. Maybe I skipped too far. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't skip enough. Maybe I didn't skip enough. Oh, no. There's booba in it. Okay, hang on. We're just going to play it.
Sponsored by Booksu. So the male gaze.
I shouldn't have spoke too soon.
This can literally be broken down into the word gaze. Conversation surrounding the male gaze has broken it down into three things. It takes in what the camera sees, what a male sees, and what the audience can take away from that.
I hope there's some good examples of this because right now you're losing me.
It's entirely visual. So I'm going to reference the text of John Berger, a writer.
Why do AnyTubers do this? I'm going to reference this person. I'm going to reference another one of my good friends. How about we just make our own arguments? That would be fucking cool.
That delves into the theory of the male gaze in ways of seeing. He goes into this topic by taking a look at nude oil paintings throughout Europe's history. In these paintings, you will notice the woman always displayed in a sexual manner.
Also, I'm probably gonna get fucking whatever it is, whatever happens on YouTube. But this isn't whatever. Maybe she has a point. Let's go.
She is an object of sexual desire and made for the audience to be the general observer. Here in Bronzino's painting.
But it's not really sexual though. Like, you could make that argument. You sound stupid, but it's not really sexual. There's nothing sexual about this, which is why it's labeled as fine art. Or did you not read that in the book?
Of Venus, Cupid, and Thyme, you would see Cupid engaging with this woman. But the thing is, she is clearly not painted for the other man in the picture. Her body is positioned awkwardly, because who kisses like that? Like,
are we gonna really go through and cancel this old ass oil painting and whoever made it? This seems like such a fucking reach.
you're like, she's obviously made for the viewer, despite being for Cupid in the image.
She's not really. It's just a painting. Holy shit!
As you can see, that's.
But you know, that's kind of fucking stupid though. I'm gonna go ahead and be almost a little bit unhinged. This doesn't make any sense though, because then I could say, well, everything about you is set up for the male gaze. Shit, there might be a lady out there that says that you're cute, and then would you be for the female gaze? Or is it just the positioning? Because again, all these things that you just described could be applied here. They can be applied to anything. There's probably someone like, damn, Necro, you looking kind of thick, boy. And I'm like, shit, sup. I don't know. But again, this is weird internalization of something that doesn't really fucking matter.
That's weird. That's weird. It's about being made to serve the heterosexual male audience.
But what if whatever. You know what? You guys already heard it. I'm not gonna go over it. If you want more context, rewind the video.
And that is more or less what I mean when I say that the male gaze is the camera, the heterosexual male, and the audience.
Okay, that's fucking dumb then. So what's the female gaze? What is the female gaze? So we've already established that the male gaze is all three of these things, but you're saying that this oil painting is supposed to be for the heterosexuals. So what about the people that are women that like it? Or the men that like it? What if they happen to be gay and they say, wow, that's pretty fucking cool, bro? It just, this is so fucking ass. Get out of here.
It's seeing how each gender is portrayed, and usually it is about an active man and a passive female. The male gaze likes to introduce women into a scene by focusing on the body, of course, the woman's body. But the thing is, we never actually get to see the person's face until the end. You can
But
spot the male gaze when there are disembodied close-ups that sort of detach the
okay, so we're gonna take this worst cherry-picked example from My Hero Academia. I think more women actually like My Hero Academia than men do. Almost unironically. Almost. I'd be hard-pressed to think that there's more men that like it.
aspect of this character from being an actual person, shots that move up and down a person's body, shots that point directly up their skirt. Another clear-cut sign is when the writer places the woman in clothing to objectify her rather than putting her into clothes as if she were actually existing in the
This shows how much you didn't watch this show, and putting this clip in, putting in this clip proves that you know nothing about what you're talking about. I would stop while you're ahead.
world and fighting with her male counterparts.
Okay, you don't understand the context of this scene either. Why are we just throwing in random anime clips and trying to sound like we're smarter than we are? Is that why this video has such a negative reception? Couldn't be me.
Women being used as objects to uplift the men. You know,
No, oh, Jesus, dear Lord, stop. Stop! You know, maybe I do need to, like, actually drink for some of these. This format fucking sucks. Get me out.
Tengen's got bitches.
That's a baller alert. I don't have the clip for it, but you know what I mean. I mean, and even then, he doesn't really... From what little I have seen of Demon Slayer, he doesn't objectify them, though, really. Like, they all work as a team. They like him and he likes them. Oh wait, it's made for the male gaze. I forgot. We're trying to objectify women, I thought. Maybe I don't fucking know.
Therefore, he's cool. The difference between Ringo
Yeah, he does. I mean, again, I don't watch Demon Slayer, but that dude looks pretty fucking cool. And I think I saw like one episode. It was like one episode. It was they're fighting like the one lady, and then Nezuko like transforms like after the thing. Sorry, spoiler alert. I don't know who fucking cares. But if you're this far in this video and you're like expecting something to be good, trust me, it's not. But like she transforms into the lady because I don't know what's happening in it. But they seem like they were having a good time. I don't fucking know.
Goku and Tengen, one has bitches, the other one doesn't.
But why? Okay, wait. I didn't even notice this on the first part. Why are we calling them bitches? I called them women, but apparently we're calling them bitches. All right, big ups.
The male gaze isn't just the hypersexualization of women, though. As I said, it's the way a character is portrayed to the audience. We went over the passive female, now let's get into the active male. The active male actually puts pressures on looking a certain way for the appeal of others. That's
Are we cherry picking fucking scenes? Don't tell me this video gets worse.
why so often men think that the female gaze is the ultra Chad characters.
I don't think that's been said. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a stack with you. What's your name? I can't scroll down because my mouse is asleep. But my point is, I don't think anyone's really said that. I think if anything, it's an observation of that dude is pretty cool. Like, he probably slays. He probably slays Queen. Who knows? But I don't think what you said happens. I think he's a cool looking dude. I don't even fucking watch this show. I would assume this dude just casually hangs out. If he weren't in a superhero show, I would assume that he goes to the bar every Friday night. And he probably parties on a Saturday. And then he's in church by Sunday.
The alpha male. The pressure.
The alpha male. The sigma male, of course. Because that's what we always aspire to be in every single anime, right? The guy that he's being hobbled together by duct tape. This video gets a little misogynistic, doesn't it?
To look ripped, to have a nice car, to always know what
to have a nice car as homeboy's out in the fucking rain. I'm gonna be nice. Sorry, this isn't gonna be a negative video.
To do. Of course, there are ladies that do find this all attractive,
but the male gaze.
Right now, we are in an era where challenging the male gaze is actually really refreshing. And there's definitely been a shift of writing. Characters like Deku, Tanjiro, Takamichi, anime protagonists who are the opposite of characters that crave a fight. We have characters now that actually show vulnerability and
I was going to bring up the most obvious answers, but I think you know what they are, chat. I'm going to let you just leave them. Leave a comment down below if you know what this part is. I don't even know where we're at in this video. Where are we at? 32 minutes. So we're 32 minutes into the thing, because I don't know if I'm going to edit this or not. So if anything else, this is 32 minutes. Leave a comment down below at the time, 32 minutes. Like, you know how to timestamp it. And then I want you to list your favorite anime of male characters that are vulnerable. And if you do that, you've already defeated her argument. And guess what? You didn't have to make a video to do it. So big ups.
Challenging the male gaze is what subconsciously attracts women to certain characters. It's why Roy Mustang's more appealing. It's why
I'm not going to hold this slander here. Let me just keep going.
Women tend to fall head over heels for characters like Miyamura, for Todoroki, for Armin. Women tend to not really want the Chad character.
But Roy is kind of the Chad character, though. What? Roy Mustang is the Chad character. I will not listen to your defamation, lady.
Granted, there are that do, but I'm just saying. Before I can continue, let me stress that women can write the male gaze too.
What is Full Metal Alchemist, and you just brought it up?
The gender terminology just comes from the history, but women can definitely do this too. Hell, the anime—
Okay, so is it sexist then? Why are we bringing up this ruining anime? Again, women can write the male gaze. What's the title of this video over there, chat? The male gaze. Sorry, it's like flipped. It's flipped. So this is the way that I see it, but you guys see it that way. But the male gaze is ruining anime. What is the female gaze? So if women are writing it, then men and women are both ruining anime. Congratulations, you won the stupid prize.
of the season right now, My Dress Up Darling was written by a woman.
Wow. Are we gonna shit on that now?
And so is Demon Slayer.
Wow, are we gonna shit on that now too? I mean, we kind of did already, but I just want to hear her shit on it.
Full Metal Alchemist. We love women.
There's a but after this, isn't there?
But do you know—
Yep, there is.
what else we love?
What? Oh my god, she scammazed us for this fucking ad read. Oh my god. I don't care. You're Booksu. Wait, so Booksu's not even a... Wait, so why is it called Booksu? It's just fucking snacks. I got fucking scammed. You know what? Big ups. If you want to go to... I'll be a positive content creator. If you want a box Boxu thing, you can get 10% off your subscription if you go to this lady's video and type in the code, which is up to $47. I don't know. One day I'll get that sponsorship. Don't they still do like Loot Crate shit? Don't they have like anime Loot Crate? I don't even think I want anything out of that. They always put like Naruto and Dragon Ball shit in there.
As I stated, the male gaze is visual. It's molding a character.
Then is the female gaze supposed to be emotional? Is that what we're gonna say? Because that's kind of sexist.
Based on how they're presented. So if the male gaze isn't just exclusive to male authors, as I said, women can sexualize. They can tell a story through the male gaze as well. But
Yes.
what is the counter to the male gaze? What specifically is the female gaze?
So we've established what the male gaze is. It's pretty much whatever she hates. Okay, we'll just say it that way. You can go back and you can listen to her read off all three. I'm not going to go back and look at it again. But essentially, she's pissed off at how it's appealing to the men, specifically the hetero audience, because of the way that the camera angles work, some of these shots, and the objectification of women. So, if we use our thinking brains, and I got my thinking hat right here in my headset, what do we think the female gaze is? I already put in my 2 cents. I think it's emotional. That's the only thing I could do. Maybe she'll debunk me.
Well, in contrast to the male gaze where you idealize, the female gaze is where you empathize. The female gaze is looking at someone and thinking about what you don't see. It's using the perspective of a character, the gaze, to emphasize emotion, to emphasize complexity in its characters. It's about
But wait, this is male gaze still, though, because the camera...
feeling beyond seeing. Women in Hollywood have described the female gaze as a way of reclaiming ownership to their bodies.
Give examples, please, because this sounds fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm falling asleep.
It makes the passive female more emotional, more personal. Take Satoshi Kon's short film Good Morning, for example.
This sounds boring.
A girl in a one...
Not really. I'm being negative. Sorry. I'm being negative, guys.
Piece. She is beautiful, she has curves, but it's also so intimate. The camera does not make her body the focus. She turns...
So, this kind of goes into my theory a little bit about it being emotional. So, she's saying that because the male gaze is angles, camera shots, things like that, etc., right? Because the camera's panned away from lady, you can see everything around her. Okay, well, this is the female gaze then. So, you get to see the setting. You get to see everything around it. It's supposed to be artsy. Is that how we're going to describe this without actually describing it?
Turns away all the time. She's slouching. This is about her existence in this messy room. You can kind of get an idea of this girl without her even saying anything.
But this is only a type of... just whatever.
Another great example of this would be Nobara or Maki from Jujutsu Kaisen, where they kind of explain it to our face.
Oh, Lord. I don't watch Jujutsu Kaisen either. Whoa, I slurred that one really hard. Maybe I'm still just trying to wake up. I'm waking up from this awful fucking video. They say shit like this all the time in anime, though. But also, isn't this more about this lady than it is... whatever. Just let it play and get DMAC'd later.
What makes...
Okay, so wait a minute. That clip didn't really show anything to prove your point. Unless I just, I'm being dumb. But it's like she doesn't put value into men this, women that. She's her own individual. She's still made for the male gaze, if you really want to be truthful about it. But again, just because, and this is where I think there's a disconnect at. You're thinking, wow, these characters are sexualized. They're made for the male gaze. Look at all these camera shots. Those same camera shots still exist there, and even if it were on a man, it would still exist in the same spot. Now, she's still wearing clothes, but she's still a pretty charming young woman. Is this the female gaze? Or are we gonna sit here and retcon everything we just said?
Makes a man or woman obligated to meet perfection, because that's what it usually is with all the fan service.
Where's the fan service in what you just saw? What?
Nobara explains it perfectly. Like, yes, she can be pretty if she wants to. She can be pretty and fierce.
Wow, it's almost like she's already both of those things.
She is more complex than a pretty anime girl.
That's not what that was about. You missed the point of that. Just tell me you didn't watch the show.
Is a person. Honestly, despite Jujutsu Kaisen...
And by the way, I only watched like a couple of episodes on HBO Max, which apparently decided to do something really fucking weird. Removed like all these Cartoon Network shows or something. I may not watch any streaming services really like that. Who knows?
And having a character fit every single trope or archetype, most of them are actually very compelling and organic. They feel like they actually have had a life.
Whoa, what happened to her audio right there? That wasn't me. Like, that was legit her shit. It just caught me off guard. It's like, it's almost designed to wake you up. How loud it got.
And have lived in this world. They're more than just filler.
Why the fuck did it get quiet again? Help!
Characters for the main one. It's not like they were written to checkmark certain boxes off of just character tropes.
How do we tell her?
It's like a lot of anime that gets churned out lately. And
Damn. Really? Are we really gonna pull that card? Anime's always been this way. I hate when people say something that's like, I think the only argument that I've ever made against new anime, if you will, is I don't like that we are on season 7 of a show. Insert here show that's on season 7. You know what I mean? Now, one argues, well, NECRO, we did have that exact same thing, but back in the day, it was just all one continuous thing. And they didn't split it up into seasons. That is true. That is very true. But most of those shows have already ended. Most content for anime that's out right now, My Hero Academia, things like that, they keep getting made. Because there's always a continuation of this manga. And then it just doesn't stop. One Piece. And then you have to wonder, well, I don't want to keep watching this thing forever. I got more important shit to do. I want to go watch Licorice Recoil. And then you can't do that because you're stuck on season 8 of My Hero Academia. And then they come out with their spinoff, Vigilantes, right? I just don't get this thing of things now are different. They're not really different. Not really. Like, they're just packaged a little bit differently. That's one of what the guy said. They're packaged a little bit differently. And that's true too. Anime has always been this way. But I also want new experiences. And new experiences, even if it's a risk, they should still happen. That's why we've been getting a lot of new shit. Licorice Recoil. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to shit on for saying that too. But anyways, my point is that just because you think that this show or any of these new shows are starting to present women in a different way, they're just, it's not like a diamond in the rough kind of situation. They're just in the most popular show that has existed. So these mainstream shonen anime are watched predominantly by men, and they're going to be sorry, muffler guy, but they're he threw it all off, but they are predominantly watched by men. And women enjoy anime too. I don't know if you might know this. I see that you are an avid anime fan of shit behind you and on you. But I don't think that anyone's really sitting here thinking, man, one day, guys, one day, when I get far away from Muffler Guy, you're going to see me just pop off with all this different content. But you have to look at this at some point and be like, man, these new shows, they're way better because they don't objectify women like they did back in the day, like they used to. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm not going to reveal my boomer card yet. You guys can go look it up. I say go look it up because if I forget one or two, people are going to be like, oh, Necro, you forgot this series. I mean, you showed a couple of them where women have already taken the reign of being, the main character. So is it really that hard to believe that women are treated better now when they've always been kind of the same way? I would say that in old school anime, like 80s and 90s, specifically the 90s, women were really fucking tough. They weren't made for the male gaze. Now, when you get past the year 2000 a little bit, then you might have a point. Okay, hang on, guys. Now this is made for the male gaze. Both of these things exist at the same time. Did I say exist? Whatever. You know what I meant. Both of these things can exist at the same time. And just because you notice it in your favorite mainstream anime doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in those 20 other shows in the season. Just watch something that's not mainstream and you might find out that maybe you might be fucking wrong. I don't know.
Jujutsu Kaisen is written by a man. It's not just
wow. It's almost like men and women can write the stories that they want.
about the author's gender, people. It's about
it's not about the author's gender, but you've brought it up. Oh, well, women can write the male gaze too. Men usually write the male gaze. Is it a problem in the anime industry? You brought this up. Not them. Oh, it doesn't matter to their gender. Except let me go ahead and tell you that it's actually due to their gender.
writing, and it's about framing. It's about drive.
It's about whatever the fuck I want to create. If I want to create two lesbians running around a city, then guess what? They're going to be butt naked running around the city. Unfortunately, they're not going to do that because I want to get it published, so I kind of just lied.
About power. Honestly, I'd say
about power. If someone... Whatever, I'm not going to go through this again.
Psycho-Pass is a great female-led anime.
Psycho-Pass is kind of a niche show. I feel like people watched it and then they didn't actually watch it, and then the people that did watch it didn't remember it, and they have a new season coming out, or like a movie thing. I've been wanting to sit down and watch it because I think what's her name, Alexis Tipton, she's the voice actress in English. I think she, or is it something else? I don't remember. It's one of these fucking people. One of the English, I think it's Kate Oxton. That's it. It's Kate Oxton. I think she does a great job. She voices pretty cool characters, I think. And I'm not huge on dubs anymore, but I think I'll watch it just for that. Maybe I won't. You know, it depends on how much time I actually get.
She's an intelligent woman with complex motivations. It's something deeper than fan service.
By the way, if you ever see me do this thing, the glance, just know that it's probably something really fucking dumb. Or cool. Or it might be booba. Who knows? That's how much more intelligent things are on the Bird app than they are in this video.
The female gaze is about what it's like to live in a body in that world it's in. We want to see a character's traits and skills more than their bodies.
If I'm watching a shonen show, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to give you guys, chat. I say chat like there's an actual chat. There's no chat. It's me using a generalization of everybody that's here present, because then I don't have to gender term you, okay? I can just say chat and then everyone knows, oh, I'm chat. Thanks. So I watched Tim the Tat Man. If you haven't watched Tim the Tat Man, you should watch him. He's pretty funny. But he has described that he watches anime that does not have fan service in it. That's fair. I can't really blame him for that. Okay, you know what? I feel that. And there's probably a bunch of people that are just like him. They don't want to watch an anime that has fan service in it because they just want to fucking watch anime about beating people up and probably killing them for their friends and the power of friendship. But I don't see why we need to bring any of this up. It's not about the fan service. Fan service to her is showing skin, which is partially true when you talk about anime. It could be that. But does she get a fucking freak out when people go to the beach? And then, like, I assume her boyfriend is faithful, or whoever, her main squeeze. I assume he's faithful enough that when he goes to the beach, he's like not looking at other people in bikinis because they're kind of built for the male gaze. Now, I don't live as a woman, so I can't make that kind of judgment call. But I'm sure that there are probably women that probably they probably don't fucking care about what you're saying because they probably don't fucking care that much. They're looking at the men and the women just as much as the men are looking at the men and the women. I don't know where you've been, but the internet is much different than you like to think. Anime fandom has always been a little different.
So I'd say the female gaze does exist in anime, but
It does.
but it's just hardly seen. Also,
Hardly seen. Then watch fucking Ghost in the Shell or something. That's not built for the male gaze. You'll be bored to fucking tears, I can tell, but just wait. I mean, you could kind of make the same case for like Cowboy Bebop too. You could watch that. Women aren't objectified there for the male gaze. Faye is very much in control of her sexuality if we really want to make that case. I think that, because this video's almost done, but I feel like you didn't watch all of these shows and you found some that you wanted to hobble together to make this video and this point, and it didn't work out quite the way that you thought it would. And I say that because I can look down here and, you know, besides my joke 1K, my joke 1 like, no one really cared for what any of this says. Because they don't agree with you, because they know that this is just blowing smoke up their ass.
so it's not just as simple as just saying shonen is for boys, shoujo is for girls.
You're right. Because anime's for everyone. Get wrecked, idiot.
Action anime is for boys and romance is just for girls.
Spoiler alert. It's for everyone. Are we still making this argument? This is like this is a fucking 2016 argument. I'm not gonna entertain this.
I'd say just saying that alone is a dumb argument.
Then why did we bring it up?
But anyway, that is my perspective of the male and female gaze.
You didn't really say anything. If I'm being like real honest, you didn't fucking say a whole lot. And that's coming from someone that just sat here and watched this video in one cut. I mean, there's probably a little bit more. Maybe we'll get a weird anti-tuber outro thing.
As I said, the popularity of talking about the female gaze is really new, relatively fresh in discussion, and I find it super interesting. And
okay, I'm going to be completely reductionist here, and I don't really care. Anti-tubers love to write essays that are like this, where they are supposed to be think pieces about, I don't know what you want to call it, gendered studies of some kind. I don't know what the right term is, but they make this a weird thing of, I have to talk about this thing. There has to be a discussion about this thing. There has to be an ongoing discussion about problematic media. We have to talk about the male gaze. We have to talk about this thing ruining anime. But we really don't. In my honest opinion, we really don't. Like, even the videos I make, they're not that informative, and if anything, they're just me sitting here in front of a fucking camera and a microphone that you can't see. Which is weird that you can see everything else, but whatever. But the point is, this is the type of writing that when it comes out, it doesn't make any sense to the regular person that wants to just enjoy content. I'm not saying that people don't go to these videos and say, I want to be a part of this discussion too. It most certainly happens. It happened in this video because there's fucking 12,000 people that showed up. But at some level, the average anime viewer or even the hardcore anime viewer doesn't really fucking care. And sure, there are outliers that are in this thing. So there could be someone that is a hardcore anime viewer and they're like, we have to talk about problematic media. That's great, but no one cares. Everything that you watch or have seen before is going to be problematic. The shit that you're going to see after this is going to be problematic too. It doesn't really change. In fact, I would say that you're witnessing this weird era of whatever this is in anime, not even really anime, but just media in general, where everything is not as good as it was before. And you can say, well, good is relative. Sure. I can say Ed, Edd n Eddy was a great show. Someone will be like, oh no, they were trying to steal from people. Big up Software Guy for showing up for the last little bit. But like, then you could say, well, okay, well, look at Family Guy. They made a lot of racist jokes. Now they don't make racist jokes because they did away with this. Grand Theft Auto is doing the same thing where they're removing the frat boy culture from their games and they're known for having what is now known as problematic shit in it. Saints Row did the same thing. And Saints Row, besides having god-awful writing, was a broken, busted fucking game. Things are going to change. I am very much aware. But that's why media preservation is good. That's kind of like the offhand thing of it. But also, things are going to be problematic, no matter what. And having the discussion of the male gaze, while it's good on paper, it's not something that the people necessarily care about, especially if you're telling them, well, this is made for the heteros. The heteros don't really fucking care. They're going to watch anime whether they want to or not. Probably. Because most of the shit they probably watch is anime. Anime's mainstream now. Sorry, we had to curl up the monkey's paw on that one. Again, I don't get that. Things are going to be problematic. The male gaze is not ruining anime because, again, we have asserted that men and women authors have made anime, or manga, to appeal to the male gaze. The female gaze is also made by, you guessed it, men and women. It's more about the individual that makes the story. I don't know why we'd have to put the male gaze is ruining anime. And it's clearly not. Why did we fucking bait for this?
This is just some surface level stuff.
No, there's nothing deeper here. There is nothing deeper here. In NECRO, there's nothing deeper here. There is no discussion.
I could also go deeper into it if you guys want me to.
Sorry, fam. I don't think anyone wants you to. I suggest you hang up this argument.
Gender in film is complicated. Who
No, it's not.
would have thought? Also, the male and female gaze are just two of the many gazes in film.
What? I'm not getting into that. Whatever.
There's the rich gaze, the straight gaze.
Well, thanks for coming to the video. Oh Lord. If you want to watch the last little bit, obviously, link in the description. And if you become a member for only $1 a month, I think there's like, what, 16,000 subs? If everyone became a member for $1 a month, I could literally just stop working every single day of my life in a factory somewhere. And I could just be here with all of you cute, beautiful people. Sorry, you're all built from my fucking gaze. Male gaze, female gaze, doesn't fucking matter. You're all built from my gaze. And when she says gaze, and if you say it a lot, then it sounds like you're saying gaze, like plural. I don't know, man. But that's all I have. This is the new format. I don't know if it'll work, but I figured I'd let you guys be the judge of that. So leave a like if you liked it. And leave a dislike if you didn't like it. And then I'll look at it and then I'll be like, damn, people really did fucking hate this one. And then we'll have more interesting discussions later, I'm sure. We're just trying to get to a nice place, and I thought I'd put this together for you. But make sure to follow me Twitter, become a member, subscribe, bell, all the other good stuff. And I'll see you beautiful people in the next video, whenever that is, at this very desk.